Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the cardiac cycle. What is cardiac cycle? Cardiac cycle is the whole sequence of events taking place in the heartbeat. In cardiac cycle, there are two main stages. Okay, that is atrial system and ventricular system. Okay, then third one I'll come back to you later. So first atrial system and ventricular system, you understand about it. In the atrial system, when the atria contracts, systole means contraction. It's the biological term. Systole means contraction. Okay. Then in atrial systole, during the atrial systole, the ventricles relax. So in atrial systole, we can also say ventricular diastole. Ventricular diastole. And what about in the ventricular system? In the ventricular system, we call this as the atria diastole. Okay, atria will be relaxing. So in the last class, we have studied about the flow of blood in the human heart. So during that time, I said how the contraction and relaxation takes place. So during the blood flow in the human heart, the first step is contraction. So contraction of the atria takes place. Then second, ventricles contract. Then at the end, that is at the end of the ventricular system, joint diastole takes place. Joint diastole. Joint diastole means all the atria and ventricles, the four chambers, all these four chambers will be, all the four chambers will be in relaxed state. Will be in relaxed state. Okay. So cardiac cycle means is the whole sequence of events taking place in the heartbeat. So this heartbeat that what we say with the help of stethoscope, when we check here the chest side, heart side, then what you hear the sound, that is heartbeat sound, that is lup and dup sound is produced. So here in the atrial system, the mainly what we call dup sound is produced. Okay, and here lup sound is produced. So lup dup, lup dup. So this beat goes on. So what is cardiac cycle? All these three stages takes place in cardiac cycle. So main stages are atrial system and ventricular system. So let's study the difference between atrial system and ventricular system. Okay. First you have to know what is atrial system. That is atria contract, ventricular system, ventricles contract. Okay. Now let's see with the help of the diagram. Okay, specifically we have to focus on the valves in the atrial system and the ventricular system. So in the atrial system, atria contracts, we are saying. So that means this atria has to contract to push the blood into ventricle side. So in that condition, this tricuspid valve, which is between the right atria and the right ventricle, this will open up. Okay, which is, you know, already connected with the papillary muscles of the what we call chordae tendineae, which I have explained earlier in the last video. Now here it is what we call bicuspid valve. It is also connected with the chordae tendineae. So this is open here. Tricuspid valve is open and bicuspid valve is open, and rest all the valves will close. Okay, this you imagine as the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Okay, so this is pulmonary vein, the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava here it will be, and this one the pulmonary vein. So I am showing here like this, okay, because through pulmonary vein it will go to left lungs and here it go to right lungs. Now, so here what happens during the atrial systole? As the atria contracts, the tricuspid and bicuspid valve opens, the blood flows in the right ventricle. So this is atrial systole. So here the beat starts, the beat will not happen here when the blood flows into from the right atria to right ventricle. Okay. Now, in this stage, what happens? When the tricuspid bicuspid valve opens, the semilunar valves will close here. The semilunar valves means the valves which are at the opening of the pulmonary artery and the aorta. Okay. So when this closes, the sound is produced, we call dub sound. Okay, this is dub sound. Okay, so the dub sound is produced during the atrial systole. Now all the valves here, so superior vena cava valves, pulmonary valve, all will be closed except tricuspid and bicuspid valve will open. So only that is the point you have to know. When the atria contracts, you have to remember that ventricles automatically will get relaxed here. So tricuspid, one point only difference, tricuspid bicuspid valve closes, other rest valves, semilunar valves, pulmonary vein, all this will be closed during the atrial systole, and it takes around, that is 0.15 second, okay, to flow here up to the ventricles till the closing of the aortic and pulmonary artery and aortic valve closes. So when this closes at the time of atrial systole, dub sound is produced. So 2 points you can say, dub sound is produced, and second point, that is what we call tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve closes, okay, opens, and the rest will be closed. Tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve opens here. Then in the ventricular systole, here the opposite thing happened, because ventricles will be now contracting, atria will be relaxing. So here the tricuspid valve will close. So this is closed now. But semilunar valve is open up here. Semilunar valve is open. Okay, let me connect with the chordae tendineae. Fine. So here the point you have to write is that this valve, that is semilunar valves, pulmonary artery valve and aortic valve, they what we call opens up, and here tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve closes. So this important point, one point you understand, then rest you can write by yourself. Then here lup sound is produced because of the closure of the tricuspid and bicuspid valves. So the blood flow will be how? Then like this. We go like this, flow. Okay. Here in this case, it has flown into the ventricles. In this case, the blood will go to the body parts. So during the ventricular system, it takes at least around 0.30 second. Okay. Then the third stage, all the chambers in relaxed state. Okay. So in this case, 0.40 second it will take place. So here you can see at the closure of, because of the closure of the tricuspid and bicuspid valve closes, it is closed because the sound lup is produced. Lup is produced because of this tricuspid bicuspid valve closes, and here the dup sound is produced because of the closure of the semilunar valves. So these two differences you have to understand between these two things. Okay. So now the third one, let me say, joint diastole. So when does it produce? Joint diastole means all the chambers are in the relaxed state. So this happens at the end of the ventricular system. The ventricular system is what? That is, it has undergone relaxation during the atrial system, and now after that it has undergone the systole state to push the blood into the aortic and aorta and the pulmonary artery. But now at the end of the ventricular system, all the chambers will be in free state because the blood flow will take place in the joint diastole like this. In the joint diastole, the blood will flow here like this, and even in the what we call the pulmonary artery and what we call this valve will be closed, but here flow and here superior vena cava and what we call to the pulmonary vein, all these valves will be open just to flow the blood from the what we call atria into ventricles. So that is in relaxed state. This means the heart has to be filled. So finally I can see here, you'll be confused here. This is I am talking about ventricular system. So here I will be closed and tricuspid valve will be closed, and here it will be open. I was mentioning about that that is in joint diastole it happens. In joint diastole, tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve will open, and superior also in inferior vena cava opens because the heart has to fill up with the blood. Okay. So now I can say finally that in the cardiac cycle, what happens in the cardiac cycle? Okay. So in the cardiac cycle, there are two steps taking place. That is diastole state phases and diastole phase, and what we call that systole phase, contraction and relaxation. So contraction of the heart takes place to push the blood into the different parts of the body. So blood has to be pushed, pumped out from the heart, that is systole, and diastole means heart has to fill the blood from the body parts. So these two phases occurs in cardiac cycle. Now the overall time taken place in cardiac cycle, that is total, you give do the total here in atrial systole. In atrial systole I was saying 0.15 second, right? And in ventricular systole 0.30 second. And in joint diastole systole, joint diastole, that is 0.4 seconds. So total it will come 0.85 seconds. Okay. So as you all know, in human heart, means heart can pump blood. Okay. And during they can what heartbeat takes place per minute is 70 to 75 heartbeat. 72 normal, but normal range is 72 to 75 times of heartbeat per minute. So per heartbeat to take place, the in one heartbeat, the whole time, total time taken is 0.85 seconds. So this is all about cardiac cycle. So I have explained to you what is cardiac cycle and what are the three stages of the cardiac cycle: atrial systole, ventricular systole and joint diastole. So thank you students. Have a good day.